Hey, what's up guys? Today I'll show you an anthology horror film, The Mortuary Collection. Hormones ahead, watch out and take care. The old man is the undertaker of the Ravens and Mortuary. One day after concluding a funeral, he finds a young girl, Sam, waiting for him in the mortuary's foyer. Sam says she saw the job posting out front and wants to apply for the job. Hearing that, the undertaker gives her a creepy smile and takes her to his office. Seeing the house is full of books, Sam is so curious that she asks what the books are used for. He says those are all stories detailing how his deceased customers died and why, which arouses Sam's interest. Then, she asks him to share a story. Without any delay, he tells a fun story taking place in the 1950s. There was a girl named Beauty who loved to attend parties. Since she was a thief, however, she was not there to hunt guys' hormones, but their wallets. At a party, while Beauty stayed in the restroom to examine the stuff she had stolen, she was attracted by the medicine cabinet there. She tried to open it, but found it locked, so that she couldn't help but take out a little knife to bust the lock. Unlike usual, it took quite a while for her to open it, and her finger got cut with blood dripping on the basin. Without taking a look into the cabinet first, she went find the paper towel to stop the bleeding. When the cabinet's door banged shut, she found it weird, but didn't take that as a warning of danger. She tries to open it again at her full strength. Finally, she did open the door, but only to discover an octopus-like monster living inside. She screamed out loud and immediately closed it. She managed to press the door shut until the monster got quiet inside. Then, she tried to walk out of the bathroom gently, but the stolen pocket watch suddenly fell onto the ground. The sound disturbed the monster once again. As a result, it stretched out its tentacles to catch Beauty and dragged her to the cabinet. Since the cabinet was too small, the monster broke her back to squeeze her inside. As the cabinet door closed, it got back to normal inside the restroom. Upon hearing this story, Sam says it is childish and asks the old man to tell one a bit more creepy. Irritated by her words, the old man says he has a full truckload of stories to tell and asks Sam to sign the employment contract first. Seeing she signs it without any hesitation, he gives a creepy smile once again. Then, while he shows her around the house, he begins the second story. Once on campus, Hormone Smith was busy preaching to his fangirls about equality doctrine and stressed its exact meaning, that women were entitled to hormone freedom as long as they did it with a hormone bag for protection. Funny enough, he quoted Karl Marx to help persuade the girls. While passing out those free and cheap hormone bags, he invited those horny girls to a party that night. On the way back, he met a four-eyed girl and invited her to the party. To his great surprise, she immediately agreed to come. That night, Hormone Smith couldn't take his eyes off the pretty girl, who dressed up sexy without her two glassy eyes on. Driven by the hormone effect, Hormone Smith took her to a room. Right there, they flirted, and ready for a hormone rocket. But before she was stripped off naked, she suddenly asked if he was scared, as a few nasty guys had been found missing recently. And also, he barely knew her, and what if she was the serial killer? However, what Hormone Smith wanted for now was to get laid, and therefore he went to bed with her at rocket speed. However, when Hormone Smith woke up the next morning, the pretty girl had gone, and left her number on the mirror. But he didn't plan to contact her again, and erased the number. Unluckily, he found he got an itchy rash, which undoubtedly, the pretty girl gave him. He regretted it a lot, for he couldn't even get time to wear a hormone bag last night due to his rocket fast. In the hospital, while checking on Hormone Smith, the doctor heard some weird heartbeats inside his body. He got panicked and ran away. Frightened by the doctor's reaction, Hormone Smith took a look at his labs and found out he was pregnant with a baby. Seeing his belly had become really bigger, he tried to call the pretty girl, and it's lucky her number was incompletely wiped out. Then, he managed to get her address and rushed to meet her. However, his brothers suddenly showed up and were ready to give him a surprise congratulation ritual. Because after his successfully sleeping 67 innocent girls, he's the right fit for the Hormone Smith right now. When they got him onto a chair and bounced it up and down, it's embarrassing that his womb broke and the water flooded all over. Later, Hormone Smith arrived at the pretty girl's house. Her mother was not shocked to see him at all, but expertly prepared him for baby delivery. The pretty girl was angry to see Hormone Smith had become pregnant and blamed him for not wearing any hormone bag. regardless of his pain of childbirth. She even flirted with her honey over the phone. Hormone Smith was so painful that he asked how a man should give birth to a baby. Then, the mother told him that it's just like a woman, and the baby would come out in the same way it came in. Later, Hormone Smith had a baby, but died of difficult labor. And the mother took the baby to a room upstairs. When she accidentally stepped on a toy duck there to make some noises, many babies started to cry. The room turned out to be filled with newborn babies, showing that Hormone Smith bumped into the Hormone Queen, unfortunately. After the second story, Sam smiles with satisfaction and says she likes it since it is very educational and ironic. The Undertaker is encouraged by her compliments, and therefore he goes into a third story right away. Once right in the wedding ceremony, Wendell's beloved wife had a severe attack of illness, and since then, she became a vegetable. Unwilling to break their vow, until death do us part, cut on the wedding rings, he looked after her with great care. However, as the days went by, this kind of life exhausted the poor man, particularly while seeing his wife's condition didn't get any improving, and the bills were piling up. He fell into huge despair. His family doctor sympathized with Wendell and decided to do him a favor. One day, the doctor gave him a bottle of painkillers, and it implied that if a patient overdosed on it, he would die a quiet and easy death. That night, Wendell had them both dress up for dinner. While he said she was so beautiful tonight, and took out the statuette of a rabbit so beloved by her. But she was still unresponsive. He felt it's cruel and burst into sobbing, but wanted to have a last shot at it, holding her hand and begging her to give him a blink or shed a tear. Seeing she still didn't respond, he finally built up the courage to put the ground up pills in the porridge and fed it to her. He loved her so much that he couldn't help crying, but thought it was better for both of them this way. Yet after the porridge eaten up, he was happy to see she grabbed his arm, and he rushed to make her cough up the porridge. While he turned around, she fell forward and impaled her head on the pointed statuette. Seeing the blood spreading the table, he realized he accidentally killed her. Then, he planned to put the dead body into a trunk and disposed of it without being caught. When finding the trunk was too small, he had an evil thought, which was to dismember her. While the saw just touched her thigh, she suddenly screamed, which scared him, causing him to pull out the pointed statuette hastily. After that, he began dismembering her and packed all the limbs into the trunk. Wendell carried the heavy trunk into the elevator. When his neighbor was going to take the elevator with him, Wendell frantically pushed the close button and didn't care the neighbor's hand almost got hurt by the closing door. Although he got rid of the neighbor, the elevator suddenly got stuck. Then, he tried to open it with bare hands and saw another neighbor standing right there. Knowing she went to call the police, Wendell was scared and used his jacket to wipe the floor covered with blood, but only to get it worse. Looking at the mess, he wanted to escape through the lift shaft, but fell on the floor. Sitting right there, he broke down and took off the wedding ring to throw away, and said that he was not supposed to meet her, otherwise all this wouldn't happen. Suddenly, the elevator went down rapidly, and lots of good memories came flashing back. While immersing himself in the memories, he smiled happily. Right then, the wife's body rose from the trunk in one piece. To his surprise, she wasn't revenged on him, preferring instead to place the wedding ring back on his finger. This was their love story of, till death do us part. Later, the police arrived, and only found Wendell had gone insane. That's all for the third story, which Sam doesn't get grabbed by, since it's about the same theme of karma as the previous two. Sam thinks in real life, the bad guy wins very often, and tells her own story to prove that. Not long ago, Sam was a babysitter. One night, while the little boy went to sleep, she made herself a meal, and saw the news that a psychopath just escaped, when a riot broke out at a local lunatic asylum. At last, the police reminded residents that they should take special care, and stayed inside. Sam didn't take the news seriously, and continued cooking. Soon, she was shocked to see an intruder turn up at the house. Seeing the man's injured head covered in blood, she was sure he's the exact psychopath. She kept calm and friendly, asked him why he got hurt, and brought some food to him. Unluckily, the little boy's mother called and nervously said by phone what the news reported about the psychopath, known for targeting children. Sam noticed the intruder's face changed upon hearing that, and therefore, grabbed the soup ladle to hit him. Then, they had a life and death struggle. When he tried to choke her with bare hands, Sam said very strangely that he was not the killer. Hearing that, the intruder paused, and recalled that he didn't kill anyone. Sam just took the chance to shove him down the stairs and then threw the TV at his head at her full strength. Later, the parents got home and found the dead intruder, whose face had been badly mutilated. However, they couldn't find the boy and Sam until they opened the oven door. When hearing a loud ding, they found the baked little boy in the oven. It's revealed that Sam did it. Actually, Sam is the true serial killer, known for targeting children, and enjoys collecting the victim's teeth. As Sam finishes her story, she opens the little boy's coffin and expertly pulls out his tooth, which she forgot as she left hastily after killing the intruder that time. Meanwhile, the Undertaker is stunned and fails to escape when Sam stabs him. In order to keep her story a secret, she has to kill the old man. However, the Undertaker laughs out loud and reveals he is immortal, saying that the contract she signed has taken effect, which means she will take his place as the Mortician. By the time she tries to leave the house, she discovers that she can't, as she has been trapped by the mortuary's mysterious power. In the library, the old man says she needs to pay for what she's done before taking the new job. Then, he uses his walking stick to tap the floor, causing books to fall onto the floor, and the ghosts of her victims begin walking out from the books. They want their revenge, and thus tear her into pieces. After taking back their teeth from Sam, they finally rest in peace. Then the Undertaker splices the pieces of Sam's body together until dawn, and at last, he's freed from the curse as an atonement. With all done, he walks out of the mortuary and turns to dust immediately. As a sinner and the new Mortician, Sam will be stuck in the mortuary until she atones for all her crimes. This is Daniel CC Movie Channel. Peace out.